Hey there. So today I'm going to be taking a look at this book here. This is Fantastic Four number 52, and it is the first appearance of Black Panther. This is my personal copy from my collection that I picked up years ago. So this isn't quite a gem mint copy or anything like that, but this is the one I got back in the day when I was still kind of able to afford this book. I think a nicer copy than this is probably unaffordable for me at this point, especially after the movies and everything have come out. And, people are way more into Black Panther these days than they used to be. I thought I'd take a look here at the issue. And so starting off, first page here, we've got Black Panther right there ready to go. So no cameos or last page intros or anything like that on this one. So this one just starts off with him right here on the splash page. So the title to this issue even is The Black Panther, so that's just the name of this story. And, from the blurb here, we also have an appearance by Wyatt Wingfoot, who's another Fantastic Four character I like that I feel like you don't hear about too much. So this issue is written by Stan Lee and drawn by Jack Kirby and Joe Sinnott. And, for me, this is, about midway into Lee and Kirby's Fantastic Four run, and I just think this is kind of peak Jack Kirby at this point. We're not really getting too much into the whole psychedelic thing yet with him. I just think, him and Joe Sinnott are just, firing all cylinders at this point in their run. I really like the level of the artwork at this point. We've got, looks like this was Tom's comic, whoever that was originally. I don't know, is that Tom Scioli? He's a big Jack Kirby fan. Maybe this was his copy. I kind of doubt it. If you're a Jack Kirby fan, definitely check out his channel. He's got the Total Recall channel here on YouTube. He's a great cartoonist too that's really into Kirby. So if you're watching this, you should definitely be watching his channel. We have a little blurb down here in the corner saying, voted the greatest tale of the month by Stan and Jack. So the story starts out here with Reed, Ben, and Sue flying over the city in this aircraft. And so the first thought is like, oh, this is like some new invention that Reed has made. But it turns out this was a gift from Black Panther. They want to meet the Fantastic Four, and so they've gifted them this aircraft. Back when, I guess, gifting aircrafts wasn't such a scandal. But Reed is intrigued, by how advanced this ship is. That's kind of saying something, with how intelligent Reed is, that, someone shows him an invention and it impresses him. I want to point out here, too, in sort of the second panel in the ship, they're kind of flying it upside down. It may be hard to recognize for a second just because of the detail and the art and everything and kind of how Kirby technology usually looks. But if you watch here, they are, flying upside down, and you can see the city skyline there. So then we have them landing and meeting with the emissary from Wakanda, saying that, they can keep the aircraft, it's their gift, but the Black Panther wants to meet them, and so then we see the emissary kind of using this device to contact Wakanda. So then we cut to here a scene in Wakanda, and they're even mentioning that, few Western men have ever seen Wakanda, and they're talking about, they're getting the news that the Fantastic Four are coming, and they're saying it's time to begin the hunt. And they're saying here to raise the totem, and then we see this giant Black Panther totem rising up out of a silo in the ground. So now we cut to, there's sort of these computer controls to everything. Like, even though there's like a real tribal kind of theme to everything, there is this sort of like underlying machinery to it here in Wakanda. And then we have Black Panther here getting suited up. Then we cut to Johnny Storm's college dormitory here. And we see Ben here surprising him at college. Trying to be real careful with these pages here. So then we see the whole Fantastic Four has come here to pick up Johnny because they're going to all go to Wakanda and he asks if he can bring his buddy Wyatt Wingfoot along with them, who's sleeping here, and they agree that Wyatt can go with them. Then we cut to this interlude with the Inhumans, who have been trapped here in the negative zone, and it looks like Karnak has been trying to break these giant slabs of crystal for a while as they try to figure out how to break out of their imprisonment. And then we have a little panel here of Maximus kind of taunting them, saying he's the rightful king. So yeah, so here the Inhumans kind of continue saying that only Maximus knows how to free them, and I guess is this Black Bolt's crown? I haven't really seen that before. I'm not really sure if that's what that is, if this was just like a one-time thing in this book. But then we cut back to Wakanda here, and it's interesting, now, if this was a current book, more modern issue, I feel like this interlude would have wrapped up on the previous page. Here it's just one panel continuing on to the next page. But here we have some guys from Wakanda kind of watching the ship come in, and Reed even remarks about how primitive the jungle looks, and like, are you sure we're in Wakanda? Because I think he's expecting something a lot more advanced technologically, especially considering the aircraft they've been gifted. And then we've got Wyatt Wingfoot kind of still sleeping in the back here. So then we get to the point where they kind of get through the jungle and everything, and they're in this sort of like technological wonderland here, and they're saying it's a jungle, but it's a man-made jungle, sort of computers, like technology. Then they see their guide has run off, and the thing goes to try to catch him, and he gets electrocuted. Then we have the Black Panther jumping down here, saying that the Volts will kind of keep Ben out of commission for 5 minutes, which is all the time he needs. So yeah, not really sure what the Black Panther's agenda is here. It looks like he's trying to take out the Fantastic Four. So then we've got the Fantastic Four kind of attacking the Black Panther, and Wyatt kind of jumps into the fray too. Johnny goes after the Black Panther, and he extinguishes his flame and kind of runs off. And Ben is getting all worked up, and Wyatt's trying to calm him down, letting him know that, hey, they're so advanced, anything around here could be a fatal booby trap. So here they're trying to figure out what their next move should be, and they start hearing drums that they take to be some sort of attack signal. Then we see these guys running up with rifles, and they start blasting Reed, Sue, and Ben. And Ben's like, what are they doing? Shooting us with flashlights. And Reed says they're anti-polarity rays. And so it means that the Fantastic Four all repel from each other. So here as Sue flies off, she turns invisible as soon as she hits the ground, but the Black Panther can still sense her and tracks her down. He grabs her here and hits her with sleeping gas, kind of knocking her out. Then he goes after Ben, who's trying to clean up in like this little pond he's found here, but the Black Panther tells him it's a devitalizing fluid. So again, kind of back to Wyatt's point of anything around here could be a booby trap. So here the Thing tries to grab this post and attack Black Panther, but he's, severely weakened here. And so then he runs into a high voltage refrigeration unit. So it zaps the Thing here, and it looks like it kind of freezes him as Black Panther gets away. So now we cut back to Wyatt Wingfoot here, who's back in the jungle, and he's found this kind of listening station. And so he takes out the Wakandans and realizes that, hey, if he can dismantle the listening station, it might help out the Fantastic Four. So he does that. So now we cut to Black Panther coming after Reed here. And so Mr. Fantastic tries to make a lasso to catch Black Panther. Black Panther kind of shuts out all the lights, though, and attacks him in the darkness. Then he manages to get him in titanium cuffs here that have trapped him. And so here he's saying the Black Panther has won. And then Johnny, Ben, and Sue all turn up, having freed themselves to try to help Reed. So here we have the Fantastic Four confronting Black Panther, and Black Panther wanting to know how they did it, how they escaped. And turns out Wyatt Wingfoot was sort of the wrench in the plans there, because they didn't count on him. You know, they didn't plan for someone that didn't have superpowers, and so he was able to free the others. Then we have Black Panther unmasking here, and he says that his mask is not for concealment, but rather a symbol of my Panther power. And so now he says, now that the hunt has ended, I owe you an explanation. And here, or, you know, a little stinger here for the next issue. Next issue, the reason why. So we don't really know what his motivation is at this point, why Black Panther has done this, why he's attacked the Fantastic Four. But again, you know, so this first issue, he almost comes off as a villain. But yeah, you know, we know now, years later, you know, that he's T'Challa, the King of Wakanda and everything, and that, you know, he's a superhero. So down here we've got, you know, on the letters page, we have the little next issue blurb. And so it says, Mighty Marvel does it again. You'll thrill to the origin of the Black Panther and meet the astounding Mr. Claw. So yeah, Claw the Conqueror. You'll cheer the spectacle and surprises from Stan and Jack at their imaginative best, and you'll be able to smile with satisfaction in years to come when they ask if you were a part of the magnificent, magical Marvel Age of Comics. So don't miss the eerie excitement that awaits you in FF number 53. It's merely the greatest. Enough said. So that is the first issue there, the first appearance of Black Panther. And this was 1966. So yeah, that came out. Now, if you want to read this, this has been reprinted many times. It's available on Marvel Unlimited if you want to read it digitally that way. Marvel has recently made a facsimile issue of this with all the ads and everything, just like it is here. I didn't pick that up because I have the actual, you know, first print book here. You know, nicer copy than what I've got, I'm sure, right now. So yeah, that's the first appearance of Black Panther. And again, not a cameo, not like a stinger cliffhanger on the last page sort of thing. You know, we actually get like a story, if not motivation yet, on this first issue. But yeah, that's where it started. Do you have a favorite Black Panther story? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching. If you'd like to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter/X at Detective651, also on Instagram at Detective651. Be sure to check out my t-shirt store at tpublic.com/user/Detective651. I've got a lot of nerdy designs on there, and there's sales all the time, so check it out frequently.